kaleidoscopic mix of cultures and ethnicities, whose most ancient peoples could trace their blood back to ancient Rome. I'd packed my bags for Heathrow with, I'm ashamed to say, little knowledge of Romania other than its location behind the old Iron Curtain. Like everyone else, I'd seen the television images of its bewildered ruling couple being marched out of a makeshift courtroom and shot against a wall. My only pre-communist reference point was a vague notion that Dracula might have once stalked the ramparts of a castle somewhere high in the mountains of Transylvania. In terms of excitement and disorder, the country did not disappoint. Aid workers were everywhere, rushing down from the mountains with tales of dancing bears, gambling dens, gypsy weddings, and even a tiger on a leash. Seedy Western businessmen bought tracts of city centre land over bottles of Johnny Walker in the capital's dimly lit bars. Evidence of Ceausescu's scorched earth totalitarianism was all around, from his grotesque city centre palace to the soulless rows of communist blocks that dominated every identical neighbourhood. I met my future wife, Flavia, on the terrace of the old Baroque mansion as the gypsy musicians played Brahms' Hungarian Dance No. 5. We walked that night through the deserted streets of Bucharest, and I felt strangely at home. In the months that followed, I spent all my savings travelling back and forth to Romania. Flavia showed me the palace where Romania's British-born queen had hosted sumptuous soirees between the wars, the mountain resorts where 19th-century princes had built spectacular villas, the Black Sea coast where the poet Ovid had been exiled from ancient Rome, the oil fields of Ploiești that Hitler had depended on during the Second World War, and of course the old quarter at Târgoviște where Dracula had once impaled his enemies. Flavia and I were married 2 years later. I still return often to Romania. For me, it's the most beautiful and misunderstood country in all of Europe, a land of adventure and romance, where it still feels possible to unearth new history and new drama. I've watched the country change and grow, researching as I travelled, for a book which I now realise has been 27 years in the making. Paul Kenyon, London, April 2021. Chapter 1. I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome, Mr. Harker, to my house. Come in. The night air is chill, and you must need to eat and rest. Dracula, Bram Stoker. The waters around the fortified Ottoman peninsula of Gallipoli flashed emerald green and peacock blue. Out in the deep water, a spring breeze lifted the surface into fields of shimmering ribs, but in the coves and the sandy bays beneath the fort's turreted walls, the Aegean Sea was dead calm. From the water emerged a rocky shoreline that climbed steeply into sharp ridges, breaking through the coarse grasslands to form strange, bald peaks, bleached bone white by the sun. Into this harsh landscape, in the year 1442, rode a party of 3 on horseback. One of the group was a 12-year-old boy who would later become known as Dracula. He was a gaunt, sensitive child, no taller than a riding cane, with a bramble of auburn hair and penetrating green eyes. Alongside him rode his father, Vlad II, Prince of Wallachia, and Dracula's 6-year-old brother, Radu. The 3 had travelled from a country of snow and ice to this barren western tip of the Ottoman Empire, in order to meet the imperial ruler, Sultan Murad II. For young Dracula, the visit seemed destined for dullness,